I've said it once and I'll say it again. The 49ers will not win a Super Bowl until they get rid of Kyle Shanahan. I know you 49ers fans are going to throw all sorts of shade and say, what are you talking about because you adore Kyle Shanahan? But listen up. First of all, Kyle Shanahan is 0-3 in Super Bowls. He can never win that important game for us. Sometimes I feel like it's even better that your team doesn't reach the playoffs like the Raiders. That way you don't have high expectations like us 49er fans always do. Imagine making it to the Super Bowl twice with the 49ers and once with the Falcons and just blowing leads. Having one of the most loaded rosters in all the NFL for the past years, like Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey. And then they call him this offensive mastermind, but we couldn't score any touchdowns against Seattle. I know we had an injured roster, but no touchdowns, really. Yo, Shanahan is too busy calling plays, and he's not busy enough being our head coach. He's an offensive coordinator at the most. He always blows our timeouts, especially in important games. And then we don't have the timeouts when we need them, in the 2-minute drill. I've seen him call the timeout before just to come back from the timeout and then get a delay a game. In these last playoffs, he called a timeout just to come back and then kick a field goal on 4th down. He takes forever to call plays, and then our quarterback, especially Brock Purdy, has no time to read the defense. Shanahan is constantly overusing our players like McCaffrey and putting them in positions where they're going to get hurt. When we had Deebo, the exact same thing. When we had Kittle, exact same thing. Also, we had a pretty decent quarterback in Jimmy G. I know he didn't amount to very much, but he was doing well with us, and Shanahan basically tried to transform him into a pocket passer, into something he's not, instead of exploiting his abilities. Jimmy G was really good with play action and a bunch of throwing accuracy. How can it be that in certain seasons having him as this offensive mastermind, that our kickers were our highest scorers in a ton of games? Then they talk about his genius as an offensive coordinator with his motion and everything, but everybody does that already. This last season, we had the easiest schedule in the NFL, and then we couldn't really do anything. And I get it. We were injured, we weren't healthy, and he did a decent job managing our injuries this year. But what about when our team was completely stacked with a ton of players on defense and offense? He's constantly getting out-coached by really good coaches. And a clear example is that the NFC Championship are two other teams this year from our same division, the Seahawks and the Rams. So that shows that Shanahan doesn't have what it takes. For the longest time, his players would just call him Kyle. If you respect your coach, wouldn't you call him